Introduction. A coffee shop is an establishment which primarily serves prepared coffee or other hot beverages. A place where you can relax your mind and rest while you're waiting for somebody else. The store accommodates different kind of individuals of all ages, from kids to teenagers and adults. The store engaged also on what we call buy and sell kind of business, where they sell groceries and school supplies to its customers. They bought finished goods from different suppliers and sold to every customer in town. History. The place before, where the store is located now, was not a concrete one. It was just an ordinary structure which was made up only of woods and plywood, and obviously, it was not an attractive place to the customers. The store occupies just a small space from the place, which is part of Mr. Flashy's asset. In relation to this, the location of Lorema Cafe was a rented structure which pays PHP 500.00 per month. The business with a starting capital of PHP 4,000.00 as approximated was a small sorry store that focuses on serving a cup of coffee to its customers. Most of them were public vehicular drivers like tricycle and jeepney drivers, but some were just walk-in customers as they called it, and others were students of CHMC's Fortune Town. The business routine was doing better and gained a lot of customers in the field, although competition with some great competitors were present. Then as the years gone by, Mr. Flashy's, the owner of the place where Lorema Cafe is located, had decided to rebuild the old structure into a concrete one, which provides a space to those interested tenants, and, of course, the owner gave them opportunities to his pioneer tenants to bag their space in a newly constructed structure if they want to, which Lorema Cafe owner grabbed it. Now Lorema Cafe has survived for more than 2 years of operations despite of the existing great competitors, and still standing and serving its customers. From small sorry store which focuses on serving a good taste of coffee is now serving as a grocery store for every people in town, and the school supplies for the benefits of the students. Profile. Lorema Cafe was the name of the establishment, which is located at Fortune Town, Barangay Estefania, Bacolod City, in front of the Barangay Hall of the said barangay. The business with a starting capital of PHP 4,000.00 as approximated was owned by Mrs. Emma Galagos, and she was also the one who manages the business with the help of her husband and her daughter. The store is a sole proprietorship, engaged in buying and selling of goods, a merchandising business as we all know. Vision. To serve the people of Fortune Town, a different blends and taste of delicious coffee on the succeeding years, to be one of the great provider of people's needs in terms of groceries and of school supplies on the next 3 years. Mission. To serve the people in Fortune Town a satisfying great good and delicious taste of coffee, provides the needs on their daily use, to provide students in town the needs for their school activities. Operation. The business serves its customers from Monday to Sunday, which opens from 4 o'clock a.m. until 9 o'clock p.m. The primary source of its revenue is from serving as a coffee shop in Fortune Town, but later on, they adopted the business that provides groceries and the school supplies to every individuals in Fortune Town. The supplied groceries was from Bayani Hong, while the school supplies were from New China and China Mart Enterprise. But the store was focusing on serving a cup of good and great taste of coffee to its customers. Lorema Cafe found out that lots of individuals were passed by at the said location, and most of them were drivers of PUVs like tricycle and jeeps. According to the owner, there were lots of inventory turnover if the basis was the serving of coffee. On every 150 pieces of 3-in-1 coffee, they can convert the 88% into cash for the whole day of its operation. In overall analysis, most of their sales were come from the serving of cup of good and great taste of coffee to every individual in town. Capitalization. In establishing the store, PHP 4,000.00 as approximated, was the startup capital. The source of their capitalization was not from the creditors, it was come from the monthly benefits pension of the owner, Mrs. Emma Galagos, a senior citizen. Space of the place location. The store before, There's a rental expense of PHP 500.00 a month, and it was increased to PHP 8000.00 when the old structure was renovated. Supplier. For the groceries at the store, they bought their supplies at Bayani Cotton, a grocery store somewhere in Bacolod North Public Market, and bought their stock of school supplies from the New China and China Mart Enterprise. Competitors. The store's competitors were the RM store, which happens to be the nearest one located at the right side of the store, Yan Yan Eatery, Rita's Eatery, Garstill Sorry Store, and Ken Sorry Store. In the field of competition, Emma Cafe fights and still stands in the industry. Before, the customers of the store were just locked-in individuals, but now they gain more customers every day. And for more than 2 years of existence, the coffee shop before diverse in dealing as grocery store and provides school supplies to the people in town. Management. The business was managed by the owner with the help of her husband and her daughter. Shifting duties is in charge in the store. No non-family members were employed in the store. So, the store has no expense on salaries, no individuals to be guided by policies and rules, which can be levied upon them, no persons to be monitored because all of the in charge was her husband and her daughter, which results to taking for granted the possible policies and rules for the business in order for its success. They were just gaining little by little without any monitoring the turnover of their inventories and not recording the possible expenses they encountered on everyday routine of their operation, which can lead to a deficit on their working capital. In addition, the management thrust knowledge, and every time they encounter a deficit they were just waiting for the monthly benefits pension of the owner, Mrs. Emma Galanos, in order for them to cover up the said deficit. The business and personal finances must be separated. It's essential to split up these two parts of the entrepreneur's money life. Treat your business, big or small, like a viable entity. Problem. In the store's day-to-day operation, Emma Cafe didn't practice or exercise the physical count on its inventory. Neither daily nor weekly and monthly was practiced on inventory counting. No daily sales report was recorded to monitor whether they're gaining profits or they're encountering losses. No records of expenses they face on every routine of its operation. In addition, there was no separation of business and personal finances in the store, which is not good in dealing your day-to-day operations. It can be a loss at the end of the day if there's no separation of the business and the personal finances of the entrepreneur. This is the most common mistake business owners make, is not keeping personal and business funds separately. The management act of not recording such important transactions has a great effect on profitability. They cannot determine whether the store was gaining or not. They can't determine if they would still continue the business or not. No basis for them on getting such new product or new blend of coffee to its restful framework. Effective inventory management is all about knowing what is on hand, where it is in use, and how much finished product results. Inventory management is the process of efficiently overseeing the constant flow of units into and out of an existing inventory. This process usually involves controlling the transferring of units in order to prevent the inventory from becoming too high, or dwindling to levels that could put the operation of the company into jeopardy. Competent inventory management also seeks to control the costs associated with the inventory, both from the perspective of the total value of the goods included and the tax burden generated by the cumulative value of the inventory. Inventory management is not limited to documenting the delivery of raw materials and the movement of those materials into operational process. The movement of those materials as they go through the various stages of the operation is also important. Typically known as a goods or work-in-progress inventory, tracking materials as they are used to create finished goods also helps to identify the need to adjust ordering amounts before the raw materials inventory gets dangerously low or is inflated to an unfavorable level. In addition to maintaining control of the volume and movement of various inventories, inventory management also makes it possible to prepare accurate records that are used for accessing any taxes due on each inventory type. Without precise data regarding unit volumes within each phase of the overall operation, the company cannot accurately calculate the tax amounts. This could lead to underpaying the taxes due and possibly incurring stiff penalties in the event of an independent audit. Problem statement. The small businesses require hands-on management from the owners to monitor its day-to-day operations. Decisions are made daily related to different functions of the business. What should a cafe do to improve its business considering the lack of professional managers? What heavy things that the store should do? Areas of consideration. The inventory of the store, which is the source of sales, were not physically counted in a weekly or monthly basis, has a great impact on its profitability. In addition, the day-to-day transactions of the store were not recorded, which affect its daily operation. Alternative course of actions. 1. The store should practice the monitoring of its day-to-day transactions and acquire equipment to help the store's operation. 2. Operate as it is. Analysis of alternative courses of action. SWOT analysis. Number 1. The store should practice the monitoring of its day-to-day transactions and acquire equipment to help the store's operation. Strengths. The single quote rate their own boss on the store, no any employee beings to be instructed or to be managed. Have the capacity on practicing and monitoring its day-to-day operations. HAS the capacity on acquiring additional equipment. Daughter of the owner who helps in managing the store has enough knowledge in the field of accounting. Weaknesses. TND to ignore the recording of the transactions because the owner is at the same time the one who manages the business. Personal and business money were not separated. LEARNING the newly acquired equipment. Their single quote has a need of an extra time. ANOTHER work to be tackled. Opportunities. A possibility to monitor its profitability. Trace the outflow of cash. Give signal to the owner if there's a need to purchase new stock to replenish its inventory. IT can maximize its profit. Threats. An additional expense. A possible loss on the first operation using its new equipment may slow transactions. A conflict on its everyday operation. And encounter some difficulties on recording its daily transactions. Existence of every competitors in the industry. SWOT analysis. Number 2. Operate as it is. Already had their routine on dealing with transactions. Their single quote has no need for them to record the inflow and outflow of cash, can save time. Weaknesses. Their single quote has no possibility that it can monitor its daily transactions. IMGROPAR usage of the business finances. Opportunities. A possibility to increase the profit status. A possibility of having additional customers that will patronize the business. Additional customers, additional profit. Threats. Existence of many competitors in the vicinity. UNABLE to know if the business are still having or gaining profits regarding with its invested capital. TOSSIDILITY loss because of the continuous improper usage of finances, not segregating the personal and business finances. Recommendations. The store should practice a monthly physical count of its inventory to monitor the inflow of stocks and its outflow, in order to improve its operation. The recording of purchased finished goods must be done with its corresponding cost, so that there can be a basis of the pricing of the stocks to be sold to its customers. To monitor how much and how the cash were dispersed on purchasing a particular stock. In addition, considering the items purchased by the store customers, the total daily sales for a specific day must be counted and recorded to enable the store to evaluate its status, whether they're gaining profit or not. In relation to this, the day-to-day expenses encountered by the store must be monitored because it has a great effect to the gross profit on the specific day. Expenses must be carefully monitored, because it is a deduction to the sales the store embraces on its daily operations. Therefore, the store should practice the recording and monitoring for everyday transactions the store faces. Specific things to do. 1. Maintain records on every stocks of the store. 2. Maintain a purchased journal on every purchased goods to monitor the in and out of stocks. 3. A special book of account where purchased have recorded daily sales report. 4. Practice a physical inventory, monthly basis. 5. Separate business finances from personal finances. 6. Make a disbursement book to monitor the cash outflow. 7. Invest money in acquisition of cash register machine. 8. There should be a budget system. Conclusion. Therefore, the store should practice an accounting process which is the recording, classifying, summarizing and analyzing every transactions being encountered. There must be some policies to implement in order for them to give directions or guide to every objectives of the business. In effect, the company would probably increase its sales, it can avoid unnecessary expenses, or it can reduce every expense the store will encounter, and it will probably improve its day-to-day operations.
To decide that the things that I tried were in my life just to get high on. When I sit alone, come get a little known, but I need more than myself this